You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva and knowledge lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Ladies Lounge. What's up, everybody? Y'all can probably already tell in my voice I was under the weather. Excuse me. Getting a little bit better, but because of that, of course, that put me back in delay with my content as usual. Thing one thing is another, honey. But nevertheless, I did not want to go too long not addressing this matter. Of course, talking about Fantasia, y'all, Fantasia Barrino, and of course, this situation that's gone viral with her husband proposing to her, and the proposal, unfortunately, it rubbed her father's feathers. It really ruffled his feathers to where he needed to go live and basically address that he did not feel that Fantasia's husband was authentic or had any genuine motives. So we're going to go into the clip a little later so you can hear personally what Mr. Barrino, his intake on his daughter's marital union with Kendall Taylor, which is Fantasia's husband, right? So it's a lot of people who've been talking about this, and I wanted to give my intake as well on that. And I will say that we have not seen too many successful stories in which women who have became self-successful and get into a marriage in which they grant that man leverage and authority over the finances, over their career, or if they don't put them in authority over career, they allow the men to pretty much have the majority of the say-so when it comes to their career decisions, when it comes to the finances. And I will say this, we can't say there's too many stories in which women that were successful, who brought men into their lives that was not there when they first initially started their success, and giving these men that type of authority over their career, over their financial success. We don't see too many successful outcomes out of that. Just to name a few: Mary J. Blige, Kendu Isaacs. Kendu, ironically, name is very similar to Kendall, but that's neither here nor there, right? Wendy Williams, Kevin Hunter. Britney Spears, Kevin 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼. Holly Berry, both of her baby daddies. Sherry Shepherd. Okay. There's not too many women who have made the same decisions, similar decisions that Fantasia made, allowing the husband to become the handler, and it not backfire in some form or another. Okay. Now, I will say, if that man was with you from the very beginning, before your career when your career was not as successful, if he was with you from the beginning of time during your struggle, he was there investing, putting in studio time, helping you write that book or whatever the case is. Let's say if he played a part in your success and he was there during the struggle of it, and now you have elevated and things don't work out. Yes, that man deserves a piece of the pie. Nicki Minaj, Safari definitely deserve a piece of the pie. Why? Because he was there before Nicki Minaj became successful. He actually wrote the majority of her lyrics, and to this day, he still gets compensation off of it. Okay? So I think that any person who struggled with you, they absolutely deserve to eat with you, whether y'all are together or not. I strongly believe that. I strongly believe that if a woman was with a man during his struggle, like both of Steve Harvey's ex-wives, both of them really should have gotten compensated for being a part of his career when he was a starving artist. But no, what he decided to do when he elevated, he got rid of both of the women who built him to what he was, and he decided to bless a whole nother woman, Marjorie, who played no part at all in his success. She came in after all of the other women, after the other women prior to her had built him. And he was wrong for that. But to this day, he's going to act like Marjorie was the best thing since sliced bread, and no other woman played no part in him having the success he has had. Okay? And he's just never going to acknowledge them other women on that. And that's just, the backlash of it, right? But when we talk about women who put themselves in this position, it's a very, very sticky subject. First of all, you got a lot of these starstruck fans who really don't think the celebrities they idolize and worship and praise, they don't think their favorite celebrity makes bad choices. We have people around here defending Cardi B, who decided to have a child, to leave a marriage from a cheating husband, whom she had 3 kids with, only to turn around and get involved in another relationship with a NFL player, Stephon Diggs. Ooh, dogs should be better. But yeah, Stephon Diggs, who already had multiple children from multiple women, and Cardi, being the millionaire that she is and all the options and choices she has, she decided to opt to be demoted from a wife being cheated on to a baby mama who basically been cheated on, because Stephon was already dealing with other women while he was dealing with Cardi. Okay? But the fans wanted to make it look like it was just him and Cardi who was the main cast of the show. And the whole bottom line was Stephon Diggs did not claim or officially put a title on him and Cardi having a relationship. The fans took that and ran with it. And a lot of times celebrities, fans are their worst downfall, because fans will basically support the delusions and the illusions of their bad choices. Okay. People was rocking hard for Britney Spears being with Kevin Federline, even though Kevin Federline left Shar Jackson, whom was pregnant, carrying his child, a woman he had been in a very long-term relationship with. He was just supposed to go on the road with Britney Spears to be a backup dancer. Well, he was doing more than being Britney Spears' backup dancers. He was hitting it from the back, too. In fact, hitting it from the back so much that he left his pregnant fiance at the time, Shar Jackson, who plays Niecy on Moesha. Yeah, he left his black baby mama for his wealthy white heirs, right? And Shar had to deal with that humiliation and embarrassment, only for Britney Spears to end up enduring the same wrath that she created, it came back on her. Because, baby, when I say Kevin Federline took her for everything she had, and what I mean by that is he ended up getting something more dear and precious to her, which was their sons. Okay, Kevin Federline didn't get all her wealth, but let's say he got the majority of many years of wealth through the two sons they had together. Do you not know Kevin Federline and Britney Spears' two sons, he turned his boys against their mother, to the point that Britney Spears does not have a good relationship with her sons because of Kevin Federline. Because at that time, when Kevin Federline mentally and emotionally took Britney Spears through all of that emotional turmoil, what ultimately ended up happening was she ended up having a meltdown, a nervous breakdown. She crashed out. Y'all probably don't remember when she shaved all her hair off her head. She was going through a waiting to excel Bernadette moment, honey, and just shaved all the hair off her head. Looking like G.I. Jane. Because that man had mentally and emotionally broke her. She was so in love with him. And she thought because she was Britney Spears, that she, for whatever reason, was going to be the one to make him this honorable married husband of an icon. To only end up finding out you ended up with the same man that you took from Shar Jackson. Toxic, narcissistic, and a straight leech. And when I tell you, baby, she just officially, I believe, came off of child support. What? I think she probably comes off, this her final year with the second one, because I think those boys are 18 and 17 now. But it's been years of this man making money off of her. And, you know, him and his current wife, because Kevin Federline, and these are the things, you pick up these basic Brads or these basic Barrys, and you put them on and you make them bigger than what they are. Guess what? It's going to be another woman just waiting around the corner, waiting for things not to work out and scoop them up. But Britney Spears should have known she had to come in because she took him from Shar. So the way you get them is how you lose them, right? So that's all I like to say this, because I know I'm progressing. I'm just saying, look at the pattern when you go hard for these men who really didn't play a part in your success. And Britney was very arrogant and very full of herself. I remember she even had a tank top on that said, I have the golden ticket, when she was pregnant with their first child together. Not having no remorse for the embarrassment and the humiliation that Shar was experiencing. But we've seen Mary J. Blige, same thing. Now, Mary J. Blige would genuinely say now that she realized Kendu was feeding her a fantasy, that she was really oblivious to her reality with him, thinking that he was really her prince, he was really her king, her savior. She says now, after the damage, after he has sued her, now she says that she realizes that she made herself believe that he was this savior. And the whole time she realizes it was all just a falsified fantasy of her wanting to believe that she had this great marriage. But no, ma'am. That is not what you said before he went after your pockets. See, it's easy to drag these men under the rug when they start coming for you and coming for your money. But in the beginning, before Kendu sued Mary, listen, she had treasured the man. She treasured the ground that man had walked on. Don't believe it? Go look up YouTube, look at all the old videos of Mary J. Blige and 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼 together. She was crazy about that man, okay? She was in love with him. She even changed a lot of her songs about him. All the songs we've always known Mary J. to be about being broken-hearted and all I want is just to be happy and, 7 whole days, all of her real, heartbreak, hear me arrive into my restoration. That's the music we've known to love by Mary J. Blige. But when she got with 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼, all her songs is about being in love. I can't be without you. I can't sleep without you. And I can love you 24/8. If you listen to her song, 25/8, all those lyrics was for 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼. You was there for me even when nobody checked on me, when I wasn't even breathing. Me and you, we got history. She was in love with that man, but now she calls him the scum of the earth. He's no good. He's not this. He's not that. And this is what these women do when they realize they play themselves. And that's why we got to be careful. Even if you're not on that level of success, if you got too many people in your ear, especially your family who knows you, especially male figures in your family. We know with women, it can kind of be jealousy, hate, certain things. But when your father and your brothers are telling you, I don't know about this dude, something about him. And you have to look at it this way. Let's say if you do got relatives in your family that's only give you advice because they want your money or they want part of your success. Well, look at it this way. Even crooks can recognize another crook. So that's still essential information that you need to keep in your back pocket. Now, everybody's been talking about the situation with Fantasia. And that's the reason why I had to bring up all of these different examples. Wendy Williams. Same thing with Wendy. Kevin Hunter been grimy for a long time. Wendy lied all the way up until she couldn't lie no more. I remember when she did her last Hot Topic and all of that mess came out with Sharina and Kevin Hudson. She blatantly told a bold-faced lie and said it was not true. Everything was good in their marriage. Only to have to turn around and swallow her words when Kevin had the baby and Sharina Hudson became more bold, posting pictures of her and Kevin Hunter, you know what I mean? I don't know. Watch all these men with a K, y'all. Kendall, Fantasia husband. Kevin Hunter, Kevin 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼. I don't know about all these K's, y'all. I don't know. I just thought about that, right? But just look at the pattern. So Fantasia needs to definitely be mindful. Nobody's not telling her to divorce him or walk out and leave your marriage or none of that. But what we are saying is, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Now, I don't know about y'all. I was not amazed. I was not impressed by the proposal. It just did not look authentic to me. But let me do this, right? Let me go ahead and get ready to play this clip because I want y'all to gain your own perception instead of just going off specifically what I think. Now, keep in mind when I play this footage, I am going to step in and interject. For one, it keeps down the copyrights. For two, I have a short attention span. I can't let somebody talk the whole 30 minutes and then try to elaborate on everything a person is saying. It's kind of hard to try to remember all of that. So I'm going to play the footage of Fantasia Barrino's father, Mr. Barrino, and his intake on the whole proposal thing. And believe it or not, This is what made her father go viral. I guess Fanny, because her fans call her Fanny. So big ups to Fantasia. I would say this. She's definitely a very beautiful woman. She has overcame a lot from her American Idol days. She's gone through it. Of course, she had that situation in which she got involved with the T-Mobile clerk guy who was a married man, got pregnant from him. His wife sued her for alienation of affection, and she did end up winning the money, only for the T-Mobile guy and his wife to get back together after the lawsuit. So all of that looks suspect, but nevertheless, she did get a handsome son out of the ordeal. And I think ever since then, Fantasia probably has not been at her best after such a very unpleasant situation, realizing that you have a child from a married man, and the fact that you had to pay his wife. She did go through a temporary meltdown. She went through a meltdown behind that. And she was in the hospital for a short period of time. And I remember that. And I remember feeling a lot of empathy for her, because I'm like, that has to really be a lot. You know what I mean? And go through all of that and still try to be successful. At the time, she was having a lot of drama with her family too. And everybody was pushing the narrative that Fantasia's father, is only coming out and speaking negative about her husband because he sued Fantasia. Y'all can go ahead and dismiss that. He did not sue Fantasia. He sued the production company that made him look a certain way in that Lifetime movie that he felt was not honest of his real character. So it was not Fantasia. So for all the Fanny fans who want to run with that, oh, her daddy just hating because he tried to sue her and she didn't get no money. He didn't sue the daughter. He went after the production company that created the movie that did not represent him, so he felt correctly. All right? Because it's always these overzealous fans that be doing the most. And I'm also say this. A lot of y'all feel like because y'all are fans, y'all celebrities can't do no wrong. The celebrities that y'all worship, the celebrities that y'all idolize, y'all really don't, y'all act like y'all celebrities don't make bad choices, like they don't do dumb things. You got people that are battling over social media on TikTok about Cardi, when the whole bottom line is Cardi made a dumbass decision getting knocked up from this ninja who already had 8, 9 multiple baby mamas. Bottom line, it don't matter if you like her or not. I don't care if she's a millionaire. She made a Section A decision. With all the money and all the clout that she had way more options to settle for him. Same thing. A lot of people want to believe that Fantasia has a wonderful husband because why? They love Fantasia. And the thing is, when we love and we rock or we support celebrities, we want to try to defend them to the end. We even want to defend the people that's associated by them to the end. Truth is, we don't know them from paint. So I say all that to say this. We don't know Fantasia's husband well enough to be giving him all of these praise and accolades like he's a wonderful husband just because we love Fantasia. Okay? And we cannot totally discredit her father because, for one, he's not a celebrity. And for two, y'all are going off the narrative that he tried to sue her for money, so that's why he's in his feelings anyway. Okay? So the problem with the way society does things, or the way society is programming things when it comes to these celebrities could not live half their truths. But the thing is, you have people that feel like as long as they are celebrities, that whatever they say, that's exactly what it is. All you have to do is be famous and be a celebrity. That's your credibility. Your morals is not your credibility. Your wisdom is not your credibility. Your reality behind what you pretend to be, none of that is your credibility. Celebrities are being granted grace and being protected simply because of their fame and their notoriety. Other than that, none of us know Fantasia's husband personally enough to say he's this upstanding dude, he's this authentic dude. And no, at the same time, we can't say he's not an authentic guy, that he's not genuine. But we don't really need to be making it seem as if because we support Fantasia or we fans of Fantasia's that, oh no, we know she has a wonderful husband. There's no way he could ever do her wrong. There's no way he has any motives. You cannot go by that. She's not the first woman in the industry who has brought a man into her life and to her success. Candy is finding that out with Todd now. Everybody looked out Mama Joyce crazy. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I never doubted Mama Joyce, and I'm not going to say that. I'm not saying that just because of how things turned out. I never doubted Mama Joyce. Now, her delivery, what was it? Was it correct? Absolutely not. But when you from the South and you from the old school, you realize that the older generation, how they deliver their message, they're very direct, and it could come off as mean, it could come off as harsh. But when you've been born and raised in the South, it's that Southern truth that you just kind of learn and take with a grain of salt, because that is just how the older generation express themselves. So for people who are not used to that, it's going to come off like they're being mean, they're being messy and nasty. And Mama Joyce was messy her own way, but at the same token, she kept saying that Candy had lemons, and when she got with Todd, she had to help him make lemonade. Now, this isn't to say that Todd didn't already have his own thing going, but we see what Todd is doing now. Todd is trying to go for the juggler. Just like Mama Joyce said, eventually he would. Keep in mind, the man didn't even want to sign a prenup right away. So let's not act like women don't get got. Your favorite celebrities, your favorite singers, your favorite rappers, your favorite actors. Halle Berry, so many women have been burnt. Having to pay off men who decided to come after a woman's income versus going to make his own income and make his own means. But at the same time, women have been doing it for years. Now the tables have turned. These men want child support too. These men want alimony too. And this is why I believe Fantasia's father is fretful for his daughter's well-being. So anyway, let me get into playing the clip, y'all. This is going to be kind of a long one today, y'all, so y'all going to have to bear with me. By the way, if you haven't hit the like button, anything I say in this content is based off of my own opinion. Fair use for entertainment and educational purposes only. So don't take it personal. It's just my opinion, all right? Hit that like button, y'all. If you want to donate, hit the Cash App. You are more than welcome to do that. But let's get it popping, y'all. Let me go ahead and, okay, I got the video here. Again, I'm going to be interjecting and including my intake from time to time to keep the copyright down. So let's get it. Testing.
Those that are Fantasia, I want y'all to know one thing. I love my daughter. She's my daughter. And I want all her fans to keep her in prayer. The work that I put in with my kids at a young age, I dare not let somebody that I know manipulate. Now, she's had a lot of them to do it in the past. But this one here, I got proof.
Please make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all haven't already. Okay, we're going to forward it, y'all. All right, y'all, I'm going to try to speed up just a little bit.
Now, first of all,
now I would like to say that was so sweet, so beautiful, so touching. We will continue.
I want to, and I ain't gonna be here long, because I want it to be shared, and I don't want to. I want to go ahead and got to get to the point. I want everybody. What's happening, Q? How you doing, buddy? I want everybody that's on here, or that is a Fantasia fan. I want y'all to listen to me and hear something. I want y'all to love her and pray for her and push her. I'm a little confused today. The video is out of Fantasia on stage. I think she's in Texas, and her husband walking out. The post that I made, I meant, and the reason I posted it is because I know for sure what I'm saying. Number one, okay, Q, okay. Hey, Bam. Listen, because a lot of times you can't express what is going on through a post or this, that. So that's why I wanted to come live, and I want bring everybody in, those that are Fantasia fans, and because I want y'all to know one thing. I love my daughter. She's my daughter. And I want all her fans to keep her in prayer.
Now, I will say this. Now, you do have a lot of people that are very angry with Mr. Barino because of his approach. And, everybody has gotten on the BroRilla bandwagon of celebrity families are now outing them on social media. And it's starting to rub a lot of people wrong, especially these fans. You know, fans are totally ride or die for their favorite celebrities. So anytime a family member who they feel is considered a nobody, who does not have the money, who does not have the notoriety, they automatically get very offensive when when a non-famous family member decides to bring the celebrities personal family matters online, right? And I totally agree with that. I do agree that there are most things that need to be addressed behind closed doors. Because when you do bring things online, it gives too many people room to make it more messier than what it is. It gives everybody the advantage to opinionate. People can use it against you. Depending on what's put out there, it could sabotage your brands, your sponsors. So sometimes your family members do not realize that as a celebrity, you have a brand. Your name is a brand, and it's very imperative that you maintain a clean image, a clean name, in order to continue, getting the support you need, in order for you to continue to obtain revenue, income, for you to keep getting promoted, for you to get invited to other events that can possibly really upgrade your brand and your career. So celebrities do not like any type of exposure, especially if it's going to be negative, because they have a brand to maintain. So I totally understand that. And that is the reason why a lot of people are very pissed and frustrated with Mr. Barrino. However, I am also aware that sometimes family, especially those who have money, those celebrities, only people who are related to celebrities can pretty much understand. A lot of average folks who don't have any famous people in their family, they really cannot relate. Michael Jackson had hundreds of nieces and nephews that he never had a relationship with. None of them jokers knew him as Uncle Mike. They had to stand in line and wait to get their ticket to see Michael Jackson, just like the rest of us who wasn't related to him. Okay. I, for instance, have somebody in my family through marriage who is famous, which I will not state because that's going to give away my last name. But he does not claim us like that. A lot of these celebrities, if you weren't already bonded with them before the fame, and for you to try to acknowledge them or try to have any part in their life once they become famous, they're not really going to acknowledge you. And in some instances, y'all could have been raised under the same roof. And once they get money, they still don't feel it's necessary to acknowledge you or even claim you. And I think what's going on is, I think Fantasia and her father has a very strained relationship. Okay. They're not seeing eye to eye. And it may be because they both are alike in more ways than people realize. And I believe that's the reason why he decided to bring this up front and go on social media about it, because I guarantee Fantasia does not answer his calls. I'm sure Fantasia has probably not even stopped by to even see him. I'm sure that when he does reaches out, Fantasia doesn't really give him the time of day. Now, for one, it could be because she's a grown-ass woman and she don't have to answer her goddamn phone if she don't want to, okay? Or two, because she is protecting her marriage, protecting her husband, and she don't want nobody in her family robbing her of her dream of keeping this happy marriage. She don't want anybody that's going to bring any negative energy, anybody that's going to talk down about a husband, even if they are right. She does not want any parts of her father because it may very well have to do with the fact that she knows her dad is not feeling her husband. And what it does is it puts her between a hard rock and a hard place between her father and her husband. All right. So to protect the peace, one had to be sacrificed for the other. Now, me personally, I believe you should never let go of your family just to keep your marriage. I just think it needs to be at least that balance and that open communication. Now, it doesn't mean you have to allow your family to come over unannounced to make your husband feel uncomfortable or nothing like that. But I'm a strong candidate, and I'm speaking for personal experience, that sometimes as women, we become so in love with just being in love, and we let go of our own cushion and everything that is sacred to us. We tend to sacrifice these things, and we tend to put them on hold, just to keep our marriage. Nevertheless, let's continue. Let's continue hearing him out a little bit more.
Number one, for those of you that have son or daughter or children, the work that I put in with my kids at a young age, I dare not let somebody that I know manipulate. Now, she's had a lot of them to do in the past. But this one here, I got proof. You can't come on stage and put together a choir and this, that, and the other. When I was just told a week or so ago by a financial person that was fired from our camp that they were running up on him because there was money missing. And there was no paper trail on his part. The other folk got fired.
So I was like to stop and interject. So apparently somebody from Fantasia's camp reached out to Mr. Barrino. And for them to reach out to Barrino, meaning he did not ask them for the information, they voluntarily brought the information to him, it's because they have some concerns as well, and they know bringing it to Fantasia, she's going to automatically defend her husband. So, of course, they went to the person they felt who needed to know, which was her father. Okay, now keep in mind, her father had played a part into her career for quite some time. Okay, so obviously somebody in the camp felt comfortable enough to go to him. And many fathers have done it. Matthew Knowles, was running Beyonce's career for years till Jay-Z said, hell nah, if you're going to be with me, you're going to have to drop that chicken dinner and make me the winner. And Beyonce did that. She removed her father, off of the rights of her career. And she allowed her husband, Jay-Z, and he's been pretty much Rock Nation or whatever has pretty much been her label or whatever. Anyhow, so that's what happened. Somebody leaked the birdie to Mr. Barrino. Hey, we just telling you, your son-in-law over there, he moving foul. We can't tell Fanny nothing. We find the money coming up short as her financial advisor, and there's no paper trail on his end. I can't pinpoint it. I can't see where he's spending it. I can't see where it's going. So, of course, if he has any narcissistic ninja nature tendencies, he probably crashed out and was like, this person is trying to create problems for us. And we handle our business the way we handle our business. We don't need nobody that's going to make anything complicated or going to bring any bad, publicity, anything that's going to defame our name. So we need to get rid of that. At the end of the day, Fantasia going to put her husband first. Like any other wife would. Rather if he's genuine or not, she did what he said. So as husband and wife, anytime you feel somebody is trying to threaten y'all team or y'all unity, y'all are going to eliminate that person. But in this instance, this was someone who confided in Mr. Barrino and told him, hey, it's trouble at the camp over there. Just letting you know. So because Mr. Barrino has this information, as any other parent, you're going to look at it with the side eye. Hit the like button if you haven't already, right? Now, it's easy for everybody to say, she a grown woman, he need to mind his own business, and he tried to sue her. No, he did not try to sue her. Again, he tried to sue the production company who did the movie with the character that portrayed him that he did not feel was representing him correctly. Not Fantasia. Are we clear on that? So y'all can let that go, because when it comes to y'all favorite celebrities, y'all quick to think somebody hating on them and want their money. Okay? You got to look at it this way. Yeah, he may have some hater tendencies, but more importantly, he is her father. The man don't look like he on drugs. He look like he in his right mind. He don't look drunk. He's articulating himself very well. He's very old school, so he may say things in a way that may seem a little harsh or mean or whatever, but it's that southern old school tone. All of us who got granddaddies and grandmothers from the South, Mama Joyce, like I say, they talk very direct and strong like that. But that's what is making him feel some type of way, because he's worried about Fantasia's husband making financial decisions underhandedly without Fantasia not really having no knowledge of it.
But he got her fight. How a concerned parent like yourself, whoever's got a family, whoever's got a daughter or a son, you sit back, that would be less a man of me not to shout it out. Yes, I'm going to shout it out. I called out the man. And sometimes you don't get it until it's too late. Sometimes you don't get it until it's too late. Now, if my daughter don't talk to me because I'm trying to help her, if she don't talk to me because I'm trying to help her, that's God. She might deal with God for that. Listen, there's too many celebrities has went down because of the same thing.
No lies on that.
God, but you put a man before him. How can a man come out of prison and then listen to the video? What the man said. Go back, listen to the video. The man said, she chose me. She chose me. Bible readers. Is that what the word say?
And basically, this is something a lot of women, they don't read in between the lines. When a man says, she chose me, and I'll never forget, right? There was this pimp documentary. Because I be watching all the type of documentaries. It's called Pimp Snooki. And I never forget that there was a particular female in whom he was pimping out at the time. And I remember he said that the mother or the father called him crying out to him, saying how you got my daughter, you took my child away from me, because the pimp had her become his prostitute, and when she started prostituting for him, she no longer had nothing to do with family, her child, or nothing. And the parent was grieving to him like, you took my child from me. You got her out here selling herself in the streets. And you know what he told her? He said, I didn't choose your child. Your child chose me. So whenever a man says something like that, and to this day that resonates with me, when a man says, she chose me, that pretty much gives him this level of arrogance and conceit, stating that I didn't come after her. She came after me. I didn't desire her. She desired me. Now, y'all can overlook that because y'all was so enthused with the proposal and him getting down on one knee and the fact that they met each other at the club after only knowing each other for 3 weeks. And it's been a lot of alleged information, but basically from every source I've read, she did a lot of the chasing. She reached out to him. She initiated him. She had to get him to come fly out. It wasn't one of those things in which she was like, oh, I'm really checking for her. I'm really looking forward to being with her. She pretty much did the same thing Candy did with Todd. A lot of people, they swear because Candy is the one who makes money that Todd was pursuing Candy. Listen, women with money is pursuing men that are below their tax bracket. But you have to understand, women in the industry that are successful, it does not mean you can get any man you want. It just doesn't, And Fantasia has not had her best share of men, like many of us, including myself, She took a different approach and figured she had to be the one to do the pursuing. Okay, that's what she did. They say she invited him to several different things, to her birthday, to her family events. He was not checking for her. Okay, let's just call it for what it is. Like Todd was not checking for Candy. He was not. Candy was striking out with all the industry dudes. She couldn't get men on her level to be interested in her, so she had to go behind Todd, which was a producer of the show. Anytime you got to go to the background to a man that's way down below the barrel, that's already red flags. Jill Scott did it. Jill Scott started dealing with her damn drum player. Okay? And, of course, she had to pay him off in that divorce. I think Jennifer Lopez had to pay off Chris Judd, which was a background singer, one of her background singers. You get these below average dudes and you trust them enough to put them in positions that they have not built for you from the beginning. They just get to step in after you went through building this empire on your own, and now they get to navigate where your funds go, where they want to place certain people, things of that nature. I'm sure it's a lot of people on Fantasia camp that know what's going on too, but they don't want no smoke. And they want to keep their jobs, and they don't want no lawsuits or none of that. But somebody did go to Fantasia's father and called it out. All right, but let's continue. And like I said, this is going to be a long, lengthy video, y'all, because ain't like I get to talk to y'all a lot like that. So if it's too long for you, play some of it and then come back and play the other, pay the rest. Because I've had people say, oh, your content too long. Listen, ain't like y'all get to see me all the time like that. You feel me? So when I do post, sometimes it's going to be lengthy. So if it's too long, play half of it today and then view the rest the next. You know what I mean? So I get it. But let's get back to what Barino was saying. Hit that like button, y'all. Appreciate it.
He's supposed to observe. Figure it out. Another thing. It was prophesied by Louis Farrakhan. Wrong deal. But they went against it. She went against it. He said, pray. You can, I don't know who you've been taught by, but you can pray and pray, pray. If that person going against your prayer or going against anything that anybody say, you can pray until you turn blue. They're not really going to pray until they're belly up or either face down.
So in other words, if you are involved in a marriage in which a person has ulterior motives, I do agree with a father on that. And listen, I'm going to always respect old school knowledge, because it's not been too many times when old school knowledge has been incorrect. What's starting to happen is too much of this new school, polluted, delusional, false hopes. That is what this generation is living off now. They don't live off of truth anymore. And anytime somebody is speaking the truth, they call it crazy. Crazy is the new truth. If you're not famous, you're crazy. If you're not young, you're not pretty, you're not a millionaire, then anything you say or any gems that you drop, people will discredit you for it. If you're not living in a big house, you're a hater. If you're not married, you're a hater. You're not a celebrity. You're not popping, in bottles and backstage with well-known comedians and rappers and other celebrities, then your word is discredited. We are in times in which, in order for people to take your word or your credibility, you got to be a millionaire. It got nothing to do with morals. It got nothing to do with principles. It got nothing to do with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You have to be a millionaire. Okay? Other than that, people don't want to respect any input that you have to say. Now, I'm going to play this clip right quick in which her father was talking about what Farrakhan says. And again, as women, we have to read in between the lines. You can't be so in love that you become so in denial. So I'm going to just play this right quick and bring this to y'all attention. And y'all, we're going to go straight to it, okay? All right. Because we don't need to play the whole thing. Okay.
Did you see Fantasia? That girl came. I talked to her backstage. And she had her husband with her. I said, brother, I said, Aretha sang a song called Angel. And in her song, she was looking for, say it, sisters. You ain't found one too much, did you? She didn't either. So she was still looking. Now look at this. She wanted an angel in her life. She deserved an angel in her life. When I listened to my sister Ayana sing, I felt the power of her spirit. Ain't no way in heaven or hell a man could have a woman with that kind of spirit and that kind of soul and not try to be an angel. So I said to Miss Fantasia's husband, I said, brother, Fantasia is looking for an angel. He said, well, she's been an angel to me. I said, I know.
Did y'all peep that to all my woke sisters? Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it in a minute. You heard somebody say, ha ha ha, that's his problem. She's been an angel to you. Oh yes, we know that.
But I want you to be an angel for her. We take advantage of our women. We use them. We corrupt their gifts. You need a man, sisters.
I would leave it at that. Listen, ain't nothing like that old school wisdom. Now, you can sit here and drink the watered down, the watered down wisdom today, because everything is watered down and instant microwavable. But he just said it. See, these men from the old school, they can read them between the lines, right? He just said what Fantasia's husband said. And that's what Mr. Barino was stating, that she's been an angel to me. Absolutely. You get part in her wealth, her empire. Not to say that the brother don't have his own right. Not to say that he didn't already have his own, his own things going for him or whatever the case. But I haven't heard much about it. But what I do know is, ain't no way you married to Fantasia and you are not partaking in the festivities of her fruit and her labor. Now, as a husband and wife, that's fine. But read in between the lines, lady, when a man says, you've been a blessing to me versus I want to be a blessing to you. Or God sent you to be the woman for me versus God sent me to be the man for you. Or God put you in my life versus God put me in your life. A man who verbalizes your worth based off the fact that you have chosen him, that is red flag. Now, y'all can drink off this Similac, the baby milk, but that speaks volumes. That says something to me about his arrogance. That says something to me about his obliviousness to the fact that the woman chose you because she wants you to also choose her as well. You can even say we chose each other. Or not I'm just her not I'm just her king, but she's my queen. We are king and queen. Pay attention to when a man says that you chose him. That says a whole lot. Free game. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Now, that's what Mr. Barino was saying. And to be honest with you, that definitely makes a lot of sense. Proceed.
𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼, come, taking all your assets away that God give you. So now, listen. This is not a call. I'm not going against my daughter.
He's not going against his daughter. He's going against the decisions that she's making. Big difference.
Show you manipulation. And when your man go openly and say you chose him, there's something wrong with that picture. Pray for Fantasia. Fantasia fans, I love Fantasia just like you do. But you don't want to see nothing happen to Fantasia. You don't want to see her be taken over, taken advantage of. You don't want to do that.
And I would also say this. Let's say if a lot of people feel like the family is in their feelings or whatever because of them not having access to her finances compared to the husband. Well, my thing is this. Fantasia still has every right to not give in to her family and not look out for them financially. She still has a right to do that. But at the same time, this does not mean that she should not take heed at the same time. You know what I mean? Enjoy your marriage. Stand by your man. Ride for your husband. But at the same time, do take heed. If too many people in your circle, your family is saying that, and it's coming from men. You got your father. You got your brothers. You got other people saying stuff. And maybe the women ain't saying nothing because they know that Fanny's going to get defiant. And she may be one of the type that the moment you go against anything she feels, she may cut you off. So that's probably why Fanny's mom or other relatives ain't really get no heat from her, because they might feel the same way, but they just know not to discuss it. The father, on the other hand, is more vocal in how he feels because he does not want his daughter pimped. He's seen his daughter hurt before. She went through that with that married man, and his wife sued her, and she had to pay him off. He saw his daughter suffer. He's seen the part that the fans of Fantasia don't see. The fans only want to see Fantasia happy, even if it's with a ninja that's a whole python, an anaconda in the half. Okay? You don't know if Lucifer sent this man on assignment to try to destroy her. Especially anytime you are gifted with something, the enemy will set you up by sending somebody into your life that will fit and present themselves the way that will make you comfortable enough to allow them to seek you. And you won't even look at it as a setup. You won't even look at it as the enemy is trying to distract your purpose. But her father has every means of being concerned. Now, if you notice, he didn't say she needs to divorce him. Now, that's something to hate. That'll be on some hater. That'll be on some you want the worst for me type of thing. He didn't not say one time, I want her to divorce him. I want her to leave him. He never said that. He said, I want her to be careful. Any concerned parent, and unless you've been in that situation, your son or your daughter end up with somebody that you know that's not good for them, there's no way you're going to rest peacefully and not speak on it. Your child ignore you, don't answer your calls, don't answer your text messages. Well, like he said, I'm glad I went live, and I'm glad all y'all are hearing it. Because now it's finally going to get out. Shit, I couldn't get it out any other way. Nobody wasn't going to listen to me. I had to have a viral moment for the message to get out. Not saying it was the correct thing, but he felt that was the only thing he could do to get her attention. And it definitely worked. Hit the like button, y'all.
You don't want to do that. If y'all think I'm wrong, just call me a crying father. He cried to her, but I'm a crying father. Okay, somebody said, oh, you just mad because she don't do it? No, baby. I do me. I take care of me. I take care of me. God got me real good. I'm concerned. I want my baby to come out on top. But like I say, Here's the thing that I know about, that I really, that's why I'm pushing this. Listen, it looks like love, but y'all know how the game is. God, we're not dealing with stupid people. Like, we know what's happening. That walking out, that's a publicity stunt to make it look like that's a publicity. First of all, you walk across the end, you. Hey, wait a minute, y'all. I love y'all, but watch this, y'all. Somebody. Oh, Lord, people, wake up. Wake up.
And I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't look authentic to me. Call me a hater, call me, negative Nancy, messy Mocha, miserable Mocha. It didn't look authentic to me either. It looked very performed. It looked very Tyler Perry-ish to me. But that's just my opinion. Now, her fans, on the other hand, they adored every moment of it.
What I don't want to see is this. My baby go up. Then the tricks of a man bring her back down. But she's grown. A lot of times you can't win this battle. But you can let them know you was in the fight.
All right, I'm going to try to speed up a little bit, y'all.
He got his hands on him. But I'm just tired of him coming up, doing his big time, slow walking, anti-bishop move.
He said anti-bishop move. I'm not gonna lie, it's giving me, it's something about him. He just, how can I say this? Something about him is not quite right to me. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We'll give it a couple of years, and if things still go cool, I'll say, you know what? I underestimated Mr. Taylor. We haven't heard nothing messy about him. Sound like everything is going well on the home front. But something about him, and you have to realize, the man has been in prison before. He does have a criminal record. He has domestic violence as part of his criminal history and all of that. He does have criminal history. He's not a squeaky clean person, nor is Fantasia's father. He has a history as well. But just something about Mr. Taylor, he's I'm getting just shady vibes from him. Something about him is just shady. I can't put my finger on it. And like I said, I don't know the man from a can of paint. Could be a genuine dude. Probably had to go through a lot to redeem himself, especially after coming out of the lifestyle of being a career criminal and things of that nature. So he probably he probably did well for himself, but just something about him is just, it just doesn't sit well with me. I'll just keep it at that. And again, this is my assumption. I don't have no facts to back it up.
God, I've been praying for her. Preying. Absolutely. Pray her strength. Keep her in prayer because she is she's in a strong place.
Yeah, she's on a stronghold. Once you marry a man that has any type of narcissistic tendencies, you definitely become indebted into them. You know, so yeah, he definitely has a spiritual stronghold, if not spiritual demonic stronghold. So definitely, she is so drawn to him that if there was anything that is not of God coming from him, she's not going to be able to recognize that anyway, because she's too close to him to really see him failing her in any shape or form. She's not going to be able to even see that at this point anyhow, right? But few more, and then I'm going to play something this guy had to say about it that I thought was pretty interesting as well.
Get rid of this crazy spirit. The Lifetime movie.
Now, that's when he said he was suing a Lifetime movie network, not Fantasia.
You ain't gonna find a public record. No.
Basically, he said there's no public record of him suing Fantasia. He was suing a production company.
They stealing. Yes, they did. Your camp told me. They stealing. Don't that sound like a concerned father to you? I don't know what, and you know what I'm saying.
And see, a lot of times, I hear what the father's saying, but at the same time, once you marry somebody, it's no longer stealing. So let's say if Fantasia has $5 million in her bank account, and he takes $3 million out, it's not stealing because he's married her at this point. So I understand what the father's saying, but because they're married, he could wipe her dry. And at this point, ain't nothing she could do about it unless she divorces him and tries to fight her for her money back. But as long as they are married, a husband and wife, whatever she makes, he has every right to pocket it, flip it, take it, spend it on a whole other family on the outside, whatever he chooses to do, because he is her husband now. But yeah, you have people who are in a marriage and their husband and wife is stealing from them right now as we speak. You know, and unfortunately, once you say I do, it's going to be hard to try to challenge or to contest that. Now, I hear what the father's saying, because the father knows that Fantasia's money that she's the one working hard for, he's benefiting off of those funds as well. But that's who she chose to marry, Pops. So it's not really stealing at this point.
It is true. You know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying. It's true, but you will do anything to protect that man. That man is not for you. Matter of fact, go look at his stats and look at yours. Matter of fact, bring him on here. I'm a man. I'm your father. I'm a man out there. He runs from me because he knows I know him.
And that's another red flag. If you are involved with a man who does not want to communicate with your father, or does not want to communicate with any other men in your family, it is because he does not want another man sizing him up. You know, in many instances, even the most intelligent woman, we cannot always figure out the motives of other men. And sometimes it takes other men, those who do genuinely care for us, to meet the men who we want to be with and size them up. And they'll tell you, hey, I think he's a good dude. Or, nah, sis, I don't know about this guy here. Something up with him. Sometimes it takes a man to read a man in order for a woman to really find out what his real intentions are. Now, y'all, of course, when you have this, got to get rid of Cardi Bird. When you have long content like this, that's when people call your phone and all this other stuff, right? So I wanted y'all to get a perspective from a man who also kind of gave his opinion on this. And I thought it was imperative that he shared his intake on what he felt about Barrino, Fantasia's father, and Fantasia's husband, Mr. Taylor, as far as to how he thinks why these two men are not able to really communicate and correlate with one another. So I actually like him. His name is Tony Gaskins, y'all. If you have not subscribed to him, please make sure you do so. I'm not going to play all his content, but he's going to break down some gems. And sometimes we do need to hear from men on what's their intake when it comes to perceiving other men, because they're looking at it from a masculine standpoint. And Mr. Gaskin, he has content that I definitely respect, and I can pretty much, I feel the information he provides is essential to Fantasia's situation. So let's play it from the beginning, and I'm gonna skip through some parts, y'all, because again, I don't want to play this man's whole content out of respect for his craft. So let me just play some parts here. All right.
I ain't picking up no baser on him, no crackhead on him. He don't look or sound drunk. He in a house. He got on some nice frames, some nice glasses. He got on 2 silver necklaces, which of course ain't expensive. And he spelled the word praying the right way. Preying.
Okay, he is speaking in regards to Fantasia's father, as far as how the man was conducting himself online when he was speaking on the situation between him and Fantasia.
And it's a lot of celebrities don't talk to their parents for different reasons. Not to say that her dad is innocent. Her daddy could have did all kind of stuff to her, and why she don't talk to him. He could have not raised her in the house, or I don't know what their situation is and why she don't talk to him. That's a pretty big deal, because most women who got a daddy in their life, they are daddy's girls. Sometimes they will get on their daddy nerves and get beside themselves. But one thing I do know is very common is for a woman to put a man before her daddy, before her mama, before her sister, her brother. Like, women go crazy about a man.
He ain't never lied. And I get in marriage, once you marry, now your husband becomes a priority. But you have some women, they don't have any balance. They go totally overboard. And I can definitely testify to this. When I was young and dumb, going through my prime, I was so happy to be starting my new journey with my husband. We having our first child together. So, honey, my head was in the clouds. And I got to a point in which my world just revolved around wanting to be this wife, wanting to have this life. And I pretty much, I have to honestly say it, I pretty much gave my family my behind the kiss. I mean, I was so asphyxiated on wanting my man, wanting my home, wanting my family. And I didn't understand that you can have that and still balance having a relationship with your family. It doesn't have to be all of one thing and not enough of the other. And when times got hard, I had to humble myself and end up having to go back to the same family that I had abandoned and put aside because I had became male identified around my marriage. You know what I mean? Like, my marriage became my world, became my is all be all. And it's not till reality really bites you and slaps you in the face when you go through those hardships and when you go through those challenging moments and you realize that the people you stepped on because your world was going so great, now you got to humble yourself and hopefully they will extend the grace of understanding that you had your head in clouds and you was just kind of, zoning out, and sometimes they'll extend that grace to you. And, my family, they did, and I had to humble myself. Like, hey, I'm not going to lie. It was really all about me and us. And I just kind of, left you guys in the dust. Okay. And the irony is I have one of my stepdaughters. She's doing that. She's in a relationship. She's married. And when I say she's overly infatuated with just being married to the point to where she thinks nobody can tell her nothing. She thinks her husband and her husband's family is the best thing since sliced bread. She kind of looks down on her current family because she knows all the faults and flaws of her current family. She doesn't know his family's current faults and flaws. In her eyes, her husband is the perfect husband who comes from the perfect family. And I guess because she came up in poverty and she went through a lot more than him, being that she's 5-6 years older. He's a young dude too, but that's another story. But anyway, she really just kind of, has her nose in the air right now, and nobody can't really tell her nothing, and I understand it. I did it myself, and I had to allow life to humble me, and I'm understanding that's the same thing that's going to have to happen with her. So yes, anytime when a daughter just totally disconnects from her father or totally has nothing to do with her family, it is because right now she's in her my man season. And it's just all about him and her marriage and her world revolving around her husband and her marriage. And, until life happens, that's going to continue to be an ongoing thing until life humbles you. But I just want to share that experience because I am guilty of that. And life definitely had to humble me.
And this one thing I want every woman to understand. I want every woman to understand this right here. If your family member is not trying to sleep with you, and all your family member want is some respect, some love, some time, some attention, they might even want a little bit of money. But when your family tell you that your spouse ain't right, and you know that they aren't crazy, then you need to listen to them. You need to listen to them. It's so many women who don't listen to their family about a man, and their family be right. And they might not be right all the time. Like my wife's family could have not liked me. My family could have not liked my wife. Like opinions, everybody got an opinion now. So we understand that. So it's not that you taking every opinion and running with it, but you got to listen to it and you got to fully vet it. And I don't understand what this thing here is about, like, and I don't know fully who, but while I'm looking up online to see if the blog page is posted about it, we'll listen to what her daddy had to say.
All right.
Here.
So we're not going to repeat too much of what play the parts that the dad said, because I done already played that for y'all.
Come out of prison.
Okay.
The word say he's supposed to choose her. It'd be on behalf of my daughter, even if she ain't me and I don't hardly talk. It don't matter. I don't care how she feel about me. I'm responsible. I made her. You can't know it ain't about no money. Like I said, I ain't worried about that. It's just Mary Jane, Wendy Weed, a lot of them. Why not her? But if this happened and it don't work out, the ones that went against me, they gonna turn their tail and hide. But I'm just tired of him coming up, doing his big time, slow walking, anti-bishop move. God, I've been praying for her. Preying. I see you on here. I'm glad that you come over here. You got to stop being manipulated. I got the word from your camp. What is going on?
And she finna stand up for her husband. Oh, let me switch my microphone. Y'all forgive me. She finna stand up for her husband now. And say Fantasia goes off after her father accuses his husband, Kendall, of stealing money from her. Now listen, Kendall do look like he will misappropriate a few dollars. Hey, okay now lie.
I'm sorry. I told you the dude looked shady. I don't care. I don't care. He don't look right. I don't care. He does look like he will misuse some funds. Yes, sir. Hit that like button, y'all. Shout out to Mr. Gaskins. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to him, y'all. Tell him Mocha sent you.
He do look like he will misappropriate a few dollars now. Kendall also look like he could be in this for the wrong reasons. I ain't saying nothing bad about Fantasia, but at the picture I'm seeing, what they showing, Kendall type don't normally go for the authentic black beauty. Kendall type normally goes for a white woman, normally a white woman. If they go for a black woman, it's typically a different type of black woman. Fantasia, I could tell she's in love like every woman deserves to be. But one of the things about it is, a lot of times is, although your daddy not perfect, it's still your daddy.
And I will say this respectfully. I'm glad that there's a man calling this out, because a man knows when another man has an agenda. Just like a woman, we could tell when another woman has an agenda. And ain't nobody listen, just like y'all don't know him personally, and yet y'all defended him like he's a wonderful man. We don't know him personally, and guess what? We have every right to say that we don't think he's an honorable dude. So guess what? Nobody knows him personally. So people who don't know him personally, who thinks he's an admirable type of guy, they cannot feel some type of way because of others who don't see him in that light. Okay? It is what it is. And I'm glad it's a man that's calling it out and seeing him for what he is. And yes, I don't think he would normally have gone for Fantasia had she been working at City Trends somewhere. I just think that as beautiful as Fantasia is, I don't think he was really drawn to her like that. He probably is drawn to her even more now because he realizes how much he has benefited being with her, and he realizes how much she truly loves him. And you got some men like this. The more you love them, then they'll learn to love you. And you have to figure that out on your own.
And then here they saying, one lady said, is this the same man that sued her for $10 million? And then everybody got her together and said he didn't sue her for $10 million. He sued the publishing company for $10 million.
That's right. Now moving further.
Man, because if you don't respect your dad, then there's no reason why you can't let your dad be spoke to by your husband. There's no reason why you can't let your husband stand up as a man and speak to your dad. But your husband could feel like it's some truth to what your dad's saying, and that your dad could hit some points that is real, and he don't want to be under that fire, under that smoke.
Exactly. This is the reason why, and let me tell you something about narcissistic men. They do not like to be around real men that are going to call them out, that are going to expose them. They don't want that, right? They call it protecting my peace. I'm protecting no, you're protecting yourself from being exposed. And it comes a point when, as wives, we have to know when to pick our battles. You don't have to jump your husband's every defense. As some token, he needs to be man enough and deal with the cards that has been dealt. If your father feels some type of way, as a man, he should be willing to have that type of conversation with your father. Okay, as women, we cannot intervene and protect our husbands, defend our husbands from all of their shenanigans, right? Or not even their shenanigans. It's a man thing. It's one of those things in which Men have to be men and have that dialogue. And you as a woman, even a daughter, hey, this between you and my dad. Y'all gonna have to discuss this. Y'all gonna have to talk this out. I'm not going to get too much in the middle of this. Yes, you may say something once or twice, Dad. I don't think that's cool. Okay, well, let me talk to your husband. When can me and him talk? Well, I'll relay the message to him. So it speaks volumes when a man does not want to confront his issues with another man, especially your father, because that's still your dad at the end of the day. And honestly, he didn't call a man no disrespectful names, He just said he didn't like what he was hearing, He didn't call him a bum or loser or nothing like that. He didn't disrespect him. He called him out. Go ahead, Mr. Gaskins. Keep giving the word to us today.
Nah, I'm not a hater because I love love. I love love, but I'm always skeptical of these type of situations when a woman is in a position to where she can get money and she can have fame. A lot of times she get a man that don't really love her and don't want her for her, because Fantasia look it's an acquired taste, because you see how her smile is, how big her smile is.
So, in other words, I already kind of heard him speak on this part. I don't want anybody to think he's dragging Fantasia, her looks, or saying she's below average, but in the industry, we know dudes have their types on what type of women they really want to be with. And we know, well, we assume that Fantasia's husband really wouldn't check for Fantasia like that if she was a Fantasia. I'm just going, and we're just going to keep it simple like that. But you can watch his video and he will break it down very clearly. But by no means, because I heard the whole video, was he antagonizing Fantasia's looks at all.
The man sees a woman. So this is where y'all and people get mad. And that's why I had that blog that posted me about the super scent thing, and they took what I was saying.
Yeah, he was just saying that when he made a comment about how men only vet certain women for their looks, that basically they was trying to say, oh, you insinuating that black women are ugly and they only men only settle for them when they have money, and that's a whole nother subject. But anyway,
saying something. Yes, it could be like he could be like 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼 sister. He could be mad that he ain't getting no money. But at the same time, you got to think about it. 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓼 sister came out and said she ain't getting no money because she worrying about her pockets. She ain't come out in defense of 𝓜𝓸𝓬 and a man taking advantage of her, and she trying to put her on game. But she's saying it publicly because 𝓜𝓸𝓬 got her blocked and she can't say it to her directly. So sound like dad can't say nothing to his daughter directly. So he going out publicly and he's saying this right here. But it's not about money. He's not saying you don't give me no money. He's saying this man is stealing from you and this man is using you, and somebody in your camp then came to me and told me what they done found, and they brought this up and they got fired. Be careful. That's what he's saying. And so regardless of whether he a drug addict, whether he, and then she posted a misdemeanor crime of that right there. And to me, that don't really say a lot, because to be honest with you, if you know men, we all done been through that. And you know that the way our police system work, if the police get called, y'all could have been standing there arguing, yelling at each other.
And me having an agency in which I deal with domestic violence classes, yes, it does not always have to be a situation in which somebody was physically attacked. Just altercations. So it does not necessarily mean that it was a severe situation, but at the same time, I would never ever play downplay domestic violence too, just to make my point valid, right? But nevertheless, Mr. Gaskins here is saying a whole lot, you know. Basically, this man, he has some undercoverness going on. You know what I mean? And this is the reason why he's so reluctant to have a conversation with Fantasia's father.
To the face, and you going down there, especially if it's racist police. So it's like, I take it with a grain of salt. It's like, it's not like she posted a picture with it or nothing like that. Like, if it's so many of us that could have had them charges. So I don't take it. It's different. Now, if it posted something like something he did to a child or something like that, it was something like that. But with this type of stuff, it's like, it could have been anything. Like, they could have been in a pushing match. He could have got hit and hit back. It's like, it don't.
Yeah, I have people after I take my classes because they threw their cell phone, they threw their tablet, or they slammed the closet door. So yeah, you really do have to take it with a grain of salt. A lot of guys have to take domestic violence classes with me, and they did not actually commit a physical act. Okay, just throwing something is enough to get you locked up for DV. So yeah.
After you famous, you always got to be careful. You always got to be careful when you meet a man after you famous. Because you never know. You never know.
I agree with that. So I'm going to take us out of that. And I thought this lady here was very interested, and I wanted to play just a few things she had to say.
Tremendous adversity.
And I am going to come out of this too. All right, so if you haven't subscribed to her, I just caught her today too. Janice Hilton channel. I had liked her. She was kind of dropping some gems, you know. I'm always give credit to where credit is due. If you decide to subscribe to her, please let her know Mocha sent you. She made some very valid points as well. So I'm going to play a little bit on what she had to say, and then I'm going to get ready to wrap things up because I'm already getting close to 2 hours.
Thank you so much. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up to this video.
So here we are.
All right, so Fantasia's husband is going to respond. I'm not going to play on that too much. I just want her to elaborate on her opinion on that. And y'all can always look it up, that Fantasia's husband's response, so you can get a fair chance to hear everything he had to say in response. Oops.
Please sign up for the husband profile.
So,
oh God.
my name is 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼. Those who know, don't know. This is very uncomfortable for me as a man, based on who I am.
Okay, speeding it up. I've got time for you lying, dragging, and carrying on.
Salute.
He's about to lie. See all that? He's about to
My
lie.
name is 𝓜𝓸𝓬𝓱𝓪'𝓼. Those who know, don't know. This is very uncomfortable for me as a man, based on who I am. I prefer to be in the shadows. I prefer to let my work, my character, and my heart for the Lord and for people to speak for me.
But you was on stage doing this big old engagement proposal with 11 Carat. And you talk about your character. Where you working?
However, when I find myself in an environment where my wife feels compelled to go to war for me, that's a problem. So against my own methodologies and comfortability.
Well, if you wasn't doing anything crazy, she wouldn't have to go to war for you. She has to go to war for you because your character, your integrity is questionable. Where is the money? Where's the money? We want to know. Where is the money? That's all we want to know. Where's the money at? Huh?
I have a duty to cover my wife and my family.
You can't cover your wife and your family. You broke. You ain't got no money. You're living on Fantasia. Didn't you just get out of jail when you marry her? And I know he gonna say something later, but boo-boo, where's the money at? Where's the money at?
Those that know me know I'm very strategic in how I express emotions, express frustration, and anything that requires a response or a reaction.
Yeah, we know you are very strategic because after 3 weeks of meeting her, you say, "What you think about us getting married?"
Yep, he said keyword strategic, meaning he's always looking several steps ahead to see how he's going to benefit out of a situation before he gets himself involved.
What I'm not going to do is allow my wife, my queen, to be in an uproar and do something that causes her to step off her throne of class and sophistication and virtue that I know about her. So,
well, if you wasn't stealing the money, if money wasn't missing, the daddy wouldn't have to have spoken out. See, the daddy's speaking out because the money is missing. And according to the daddy, that the lady who got fired, when it came down to you, you're the one that caused a woman to get fired, which caused the daddy to be speaking out, which is why Fantasia had to go to war for you, which is why now you're trying to get it.
We are. Be clear. I'm in the manhood business. I do.
Manhood business? No, you're not. No, sir, you're not. You're not in the manhood business. What you gonna teach a man? How to get a wife to take care of you?
And as a man, if I have a argument with you, if I have a problem with you, I'll reach out to you direct and we can sign.
But Fantasia daddy said you didn't even come talk to him to marry his daughter. Huh? As a man, if I have an argument with you, I'm gonna come talk to you. But you, according to Fantasia daddy, you didn't go talk to him to marry her. You didn't talk to her brother. Huh?
And that's definitely out of marital alignment. Whenever it comes to hand in marriage, that man is supposed to respectfully seek your father. If you don't have a father, your brother, any male figure in your life that is alive and well and living, he is supposed to, out of respect, ask for your approval. And the fact that he's stepped over that chain of command, it goes to show you his motives, and the fact that he knew, had he had to seek their approval, that would have been too much work for him. And again, according to his words, he's a strategic guy. He's not about to go through all of that for people to impose or intervene on his plans and his motives.
According to the daddy, you run from him. You don't come talk to Fantasia's daddy. And I had to call my daddy yesterday and tell him thank you. Because Fantasia's daddy is saying the same thing about, you gotta come talk to me. You wanna marry my daughter, you gotta come see me. Now we know some men are not good men. We'll talk about that at a later date and at a later time. Go ahead, sir.
Now, and so since a man chose to take shots at me regarding my manhood, that's cool.
He taking shots at your manhood because your manhood is questionable. Do you understand? You didn't go over there and talk to Fantasia's daddy to marry her daughter, and she's taking care of you, and the money is missing. I'm just saying, yeah, he gonna take shots at you.
I've been married to my beautiful bride for 11, going on 12 years. Y'all want to know who I am and what I do? Pause. There's a difference, in my opinion. There's a difference between journalism and blogs. When it comes to journalism, there's a certain level of due diligence that has to be exercised before you put in
Jesus take the wheel.
Information and content out there to people who trust that information. When it comes to blogs, things.
And yes, I'm gonna talk about Fantasia posting her daddy mugshot, but she didn't post her husband's mugshot.
Very, very good point. I couldn't agree with you more, Miss Hilton. Yeah, you post your daddy, but you wouldn't post that husband. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, dear.
We're going to talk about that later.
It dropped and shared immediately without any due diligence. When I met my wife, I was running my own multi-million-dollar company. Period.
Where is the money? Where's the money at? Are you still running the company? Did you use the money from that company to buy that 11-carat ring? Or did you use the money that Fantasia is missing to buy the ring? Are you using the money from that multi-million-dollar business? Are y'all living on that money? That house y'all just bought, did you buy it with that money, the multi-million-dollar business money? Is that what you did? Are you taking care of Fantasia with that multi-million-dollar money? I just got so many questions. I'm saying, I just have a lot of questions. You shouldn't have said nothing.
I'm just like you, Miss Hilton. I have a lot of questions, boo. I'm lost in the sauce. Y'all please subscribe to her when y'all get a chance, y'all. So lastly, before I get ready to wrap things up, before we go to talking about how Fantasia's dad has not been a good father, he's never been there for her, or he's always had the worst intentions for her. let me quickly remind you as to how close Fanny and her father is, which is the reason why he is desperately reaching out to make it clear to his daughter that he wants her to be careful.
Well, let's just say Fantasia's father won't be hearing the song You're a Good Daddy for quite some time.
Well, I guess he's not a good dad because dad is calling out the bull and dad is not going to pacify the shenanigans. So anyway, y'all, I've kept y'all long enough. This has been 1 hour and 50 minutes. Again, I know it's been very lengthy. It was just so much with this equation, but I really want women to really be protective of their assets, protective of their success, protective of their career, even if you're not on the level of Britney Spears, Fantasia, Mary J. Blige. Still be mindful when you allow a man to have access into your life, and he gets to call the shots with your career. He gets to call the shots with your team, with your staff, or people around you who love you and who support you. He starts getting in the mix and changing things around. Your finances are moving funny. Know the difference when you have a man that's being concerned and when you have a man that's being controlling. If you have a man that's really sympathetic or a man that's just being strategic. Anyway, y'all, leave y'all comments below. Let me know what y'all think about this. Thank y'all for hanging out with me for almost 2 hours. But it's been a minute. I haven't seen my girls. I haven't seen y'all in a while, okay? So anyway, y'all, love y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. It's your girl, your diva knowledge lady, Mocha. Representing Mocha's Ladies Lounge, even with this nasty flu, y'all. And I will be talking with y'all soon. Be blessed. Take care.